So in this game, we'll start from the top. I'm playing a 2200-ish player, almost 2200. So he played the Sicilian Dragon, a little offbeat, but that's what he played. And I will show you. I have a video of how to play against the Sicilian Dragon or certain concepts. It's called the one move that's killing your chess rating. Anyway, my opponent is advanced, and he also missed this one move. So we'll get into it in a sec. Okay, so I always play king b1, even though the computer says that's an inaccuracy here for some reason. Always play king b1 when you castle queenside. So I play h4 here, and this goes back to my other video, the one move that's crushing your chess rating. Okay, it's a bit of an exaggeration. It's not just this one move that's crushing your chess rating, but the point is this is a very important concept that a lot of players miss. This player is almost 2200, and he missed it. He should play h5 and blockade here. He played h6. Now I play g5, and he played knight d7, which is the best move here. However, I go over this in the Dragon. There's like three things we want to do in the Dragon. We want to trade this bishop, which is the Dragon, which I'm going to do here. We want to open up the h file and get rid of this knight. So far I'm trading, and now I'm pushing forward, and I'm trying to break open the king side. So my opponent comes back with the knight, which is the fatal mistake, because I can attack the knight, which is what I did, and this pawn. So what happens when you're attacking a knight, a piece, and a pawn is you're going to open up a file. If your opponent's under 1,000, then yeah, you might just win the piece outright. But if your opponent's a decent player, what's going to happen is either they're going to move the piece and you open the G file, or in this position, in this case, my opponent took the pawn, and which is even worse because now I open the H file. I'm still attacking the knight. So my opponent took the pawn here, and it looks like he gave up a piece, which he did. So a lot of players might be reluctant to take this because their opponent's such a strong player. However, it looks like he won a pawn, because after the knight takes the knight on e4, he takes with the bishop. However, we would follow up a queen d4 check, and then simply not even just win the bishop, we would have checkmate. So he would have to block, and then we would just win the bishop. So my opponent saw this, so instead of taking the knight, played f4. Now his point is, if I move the knight, he takes my rook, and now I'm losing the game. So here I just played queen d4, back to my plan. What's my idea? My opponent cannot go to the h file, and if my opponent goes here, then we bring the bishop in with check, and now black is in a serious amount of trouble, as you can probably see. So my opponent didn't want to do that. So my opponent blocked here. And now when I take back, you'll see that my opponent's king is temporarily blocked by my own pawn. He takes advantage of this very nicely and almost saves himself and saves the game here by playing queen b6. Now, if you can see the bar on the side of the board, the evaluation bar, it's mate in 13, completely winning position. But you might, blow this because it's a good defensive move. If I just move forward with my attack and take here, that would be a huge mistake because he's attacking the piece that's giving the discovered check. And that's how you want to defend discovered checks. And now he would just simply trade the queens and now trade the knight or take the knight, and he's totally fine here. So pause your videos and try to see what I played here to stay in the game. So here I just simply renewed the threat of the discovered attack, which is a very big threat here, by simply playing queen c3. Now the point is you want to attack, like I said, the piece that's giving the discovered check. So in other words, if I take or push, this is the piece giving the discovered check. This is the why there's a discovery going on. So he cannot attack this piece. If he goes now queen a5, I'm not going to give a discovered check, obviously, and trade queens. I'm just going to take the queen because the queen's not defended. And this move right here, which looks like the queen's defended, it's not because my knight actually takes. So it doesn't work for him. So after queen c3, this is completely winning. That's the best move. My opponent just moved out of the way. And now I just threw in a check. I'll just show you how I finished this game. I didn't finish it perfectly, but I finished it the most practical way. I just developed my bishop doing a check, got my rook into the game with check, took advantage of another discovered attack, and won a pawn, and now just started trading down pieces. And after my opponent takes, why did my opponent not take with the queen? I'm not really sure, but he didn't take with the queen. So he took with the pawn here, and now I have a couple of killer moves here, like queen d3 the computer likes, which is mate in 6. Queen a3 is mate in 7. I guess just infiltrating. But I just wanted to play the most practical, easy way to finish it. So I just played queen b3. I'm up an entire piece, and I'm up material with the pawns too. So I just figured I'm just going to trade material, force a trade, which is what I did. And I took back with the pawn here. And now I have the 2 rooks dominating. We call this the assassins. And what did I play here after my opponent took? So good players are sneaky. We have to watch out for them. If I take with the bishop here, I'm actually getting checkmated. My only move is the block, and then that's checkmate because the rook is covering the a2 square. So I just simply took with the pawn here, and my opponent resigned because if he throws in a check here, it doesn't even work because I can take the rook. Even if I couldn't, I have an escape route now. So there you go. Advanced concepts in chess. You're going to have to put your tactics and your calculation. You have to string moves and tactics together when you play against a good player. They're going to constantly be defending, so you have to keep on putting the pressure. It's like walking a tightrope. You have to keep on walking that tightrope, not let go, not release the pressure, and you will get them sooner or later if you keep on applying pressure and making good moves. And if you like this video, it would be a really good move to subscribe and hit the like button. Would really appreciate it. Now get out there, go play some chess.